MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be bringing you guys another episode of Full Day of Going to the Movie Theater. And in this episode of Full Day of Going to the Movie Theater, I will be watching Captain America Brave New World, which is the 35th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the 4th Captain America movie in the Captain America film series. Anthony Mackie made his MCU debut back in 2014 with Captain America the Winter Soldier, which is highly regarded as one of the best, or if not the best, Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. And as you guys know, for me, because I've told you guys this before, my favorite MCU movies of all time is Captain America the Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War. Those two are my favorite MCU movies, and I don't think that is getting topped anytime soon. But this is a movie that was shortly announced after the conclusion of the first season of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which was a Disney Plus Marvel Cinematic Universe TV show that came out back in 2021. And this movie has gone through just hell during production. So this movie was actually supposed to come out back in 2024, but we started hearing rumors that the movie was going through not just multiple reshoots, extensive reshoots, and the movie had already failed multiple test screenings. So this movie has also went through many different writers, basically getting, built from the ground up to be completed, only to then have a test screening, and then when those test screenings failed, the movie would end up getting completely dismantled, only for that process to happen multiple times, not a few times, multiple times. So Hollywood has been lying about this movie's budget being roughly around $180 million. Now, I will just tell you guys this because I've said this on the MSK show episodes and the videos you guys would have already seen. So let's just play it this way. Even if the movie's budget is really $180 million, it won't matter because with big blockbuster tentpoles, these kind of movies roughly will have a marketing budget of around $60 to $80 million. And Marvel and Disney for sure want this movie to do very well at the box office. So if you add in, we'll use the lowest amount, $60 million, right? So 180 plus 60 is 240. That means the movie's budget is $240 million. So for this movie to break even, it would need to make literally around $700 to $750 million to break even. Not profit. That's not profit. That's break even. And then you gotta have to consider the fact that it would need like an additional $200 million on top of that just to pretty much make profit for the studio, along with the theater cuts around the world that have to get their money. And it's also playing in, overseas theaters. They have to get their cut as well. And this is an interesting movie for the MCU. And I understand why they put it out at the beginning part of this year in 2025, because the other movies coming out, which are the Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, will probably end up being better as they've probably seen all the movies so far. And they were like, you know what, let's just probably get the worst of the three already out there. So in the comic books, I know a lot of you guys don't really read comics, and that's fine. I'll just explain it to you here. In the Marvel comic books, they killed off Captain America. It was after, I think, Mark Millar's Civil War event. I think it was shortly after that at some point, maybe, right? They tried giving the Captain America name to Bucky Barnes and Falcon, right? People didn't like that, okay? And then they fully tried to make, Sam Wilson as Captain America in all new, all different Marvel. That didn't work out. Then that series got canceled due to low sales. Then they tried giving him another series after that. That got canceled due to low sales. Then after that, they try to do a dual release of Captain America comics. It was Captain America Symbol of Hope, which was Sam Wilson, and Captain America Symbol of Liberty, that would be Steve Rogers, right? Both ended up getting canceled for like low sales, but Captain America Symbol of Hope, which was Sam Wilson's Captain America, that one only actually went up to like 12, 13 issues. Then now, in 2025, they announced they were doing a brand new Sam Wilson Captain America 4-part mini comic book series. So at this point now, Sam Wilson's Captain America literally can't even go past 4 issues because they know nobody is interested in this version of Captain America. And he's not Captain America. Like, this whole like passing of the mantles, Captain America's not a mantle. That is Steve Rogers. People that think of Captain America think of Steve Rogers. Like when people think of Spider-Man, they think of, you know, Peter Parker. When you think of Batman, you think of Bruce Wayne. Now, I'm not saying there can't be like other people that can come up and kind of be utilized as that for the original guy that has that mantle, but he's one of the ones where you have in this scenario that doesn't work. You know, for Green Lantern, you have all, and people always say, but what about the Lanterns? The Lanterns are established as a actual like corpse, not like a dead corpse. They're established as like there's a literally a corporation of them. There's a lot of them. That means that it's not like, let's say it's not special to be a Green Lantern, but it's already established that there are multiple versions of Green Lantern. It's not just a one kind of character deal, right? Like a Batman or a Superman or a Captain America or a Spider-Man, right? And we've seen other characters, you know, take up, let's say, the mantle of some of these other really popular characters, you know, and do very, very well. I mean, obviously, Terry McGinnis is one that a lot of people know that take up the mantle of Batman and Batman Beyond, and it worked out very, very well. Now, it can happen. Like Wally West is another example of that. You have Jon Stewart later on that does it. There's not that many, but there can be different characters to do that. But when it comes to Captain America, and people could argue, well, you haven't got anybody good to write him. Well, it's like a ton of people in comics have wrote him. Didn't really ever pop off. And obviously in the movie that I'll be end up watching today, I mean, how many people have to kind of write on this guy to get to the point that it's like no one likes this idea. No one liked it in the comic books. For the testing ground for this character, why in the world would they like it for the MCU? And obviously the MCU got a huge pass in 2024 with Deadpool and Wolverine, which ended up grossing over $1 billion at the worldwide box office. I initially didn't think the movie itself was going to do all that well, considering, you know, Marvel's past failures, actually. And even the movies that ended up making a lot of money, if you look at the marketing budgets attached to some of those movies, it's like those movies probably only like barely broke even, honestly, and that's not good because we know these studios don't want to break even. They want to make a lot of money. So with Captain America Brave New World, if you attach the actual budget that they haven't, you know, been leading off with people, because essentially Disney Marvel told the mainstream media that people use for like nerd shit, like Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety, that the budget is $180 million. But let's be honest here, they told them that because they know that these trades have influence and they can tell people that, and the people would just believe it because they're not probably following the situation that close. When in reality, people like us who've been following the situation know that this movie's budget is very much higher. So if the movie's budget ballooned to $350 million, as that was announced by another trade a while ago, then it's like, if this movie's budget is $350 million, because Marvel has lied about their movie budgets. Usually when it comes to movie budgets, I just kind of just believe that they're telling the truth. It's because, like, you know, I would never be able to know what the actual budgets are for some of these movies, but it's been proven that Marvel has lied. They lied about Doctor Strange 2's budget, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania's budget, the Marvel's budget, okay? Those are just 3 movies I know they've lied about recently. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever may have had a lied budget about it, you know? And this is the thing, is if a movie's budget is really $350 million, I mean, this movie has to make like literally $1 billion to be profitable, right? We know that's not going to happen. So we're in this situation where, you know, they're kind of like screwed either way. And this is kind of the boat that they put themselves in. They never had to get to this point. They could just recast Chris Evans with a white dude and keep it Steve Rogers. That's it. It's very simple, you know? But they didn't do that. And they chose to give this Captain America mantle to Sam Wilson, even though Bucky would be the better option because obviously Sam Wilson's Captain America doesn't even have super soldier serum, you know? Like, there's a way he could beat Red Hulk. Essentially, Red Hulk overheats, right? And he could essentially tire himself out from like some comic books I've kind of read a little bit about him. But how in the world would a human be able to do that? How is a human outlasting like Red Hulk? To be fair, it's a comic book world. I understand suspension of disbelief. I usually go by that rule of suspension of disbelief. But it's like, what are we doing here? You know, why does there have to be a Captain America Brave New World? And this movie's had multiple name changes. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't see a world this movie makes profit at the box office. I think it's going to end up being a massive failure. I think it's going to be around $430 million when the movie's worldwide box office is over. I mean, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong, but I just don't see a world this movie actually, you know, makes a lot of money. Do I think the movie itself is going to be good? I don't know. I'll be watching it literally, as you guys know, in this video. So, just looking at the trailer, the first trailer I watched wasn't all that bad. The very first trailer where it had like those weird flashing lights. I'll be honest here, it didn't look that bad, but that's only just one trailer, and it was only like a minute. And it got to factor in if that's the best they got. Rest of the movie probably isn't going to look all that good because there's been, you know, good trailers, bad movies, bad trailers, good movies. It's kind of how it works right there. So yeah, the MCU is dropping 3 movies in 2025, and obviously with Fantastic Four, the first steps, that is going to obviously lead into Avengers Doomsday. So that'll have some post-credit scenes there. Yeah, I'll be staying for the post-credit scenes. I know there's Red Hulk in the movie, but I don't know. I mean, they literally recasted freaking William Hurt to play Red Hulk. They could have not just recasted like Chris Evans to play Captain America. I mean, it's pretty definitive that he said he's retired or happily retired from the MCU. So, yeah, give me one sec. Let me see when my showing is. My showing right now currently is probably going to be like, let me see, Captain America Brave New World. Showtimes. Showtimes is at 4:50 my time. So yeah, I'll be heading out of here in a little bit. So probably head out like around 4:30, get there, chill for a little bit, you know, just eat some food or whatever, and then just watch the movie. The movie's runtime. What's this movie's runtime? This movie's runtime is 1 hour and 58 minutes. So if I get there from my theater, it starts at 4:50. Previews puts it at 5 o'clock. Roughly, my theater's been pretty good about not playing like a whole bunch of trailers or ads, usually a 10-minute-ish window. Then I'll be done at like around, it's almost a 2-hour movie. Yeah. So yeah, I'm actually glad I'm going at this time because if I went at 7:30, that would not be very, very good. So yeah, so get it there at 5. Let's see, fucking hell. Wait a minute. Yeah, it'll start around 5. Almost 2-hour movie, so then that's 7. Yeah, this is the best time to obviously watch the movie because, yeah, I damn near, not on a work night. On a work, because you guys know, Friday I work at 8 to 4. I got to get up at like fucking 6 o'clock. So there's no way I'm staying out that long. No, your boy got to come home and chill and, you know, fuck his wife or some shit, you know? So, yeah, also, we'll be doing an open spoiler discussion for Captain America Brave New World Saturday. Time you're watching this episode of Full Dave going to the movie theater with me and Cyfax, and I think Labs Comic Fan said he would be there as well. You guys have been really enjoying the content lately, and I hope I can be able to do this a lot more, but, you know, I usually only kind of do this when there's a movie I want to see, and I usually want to do this more, but timing and all that stuff, right? So, yeah, we will see you guys in the next part, and I'll be at the movie theater giving you guys, you know, those little in-between videos, like my like a pre-game. Then after that, you guys might add a theater reaction. And at the end of the vlog, because if you haven't watched any of these episodes of Full Dave Going to the Movie Theater, after I do my add a theater reaction, I come home and I give you my spoiler-free movie review in the vlog. So, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next part. Now at my movie theater, about to watch Captain America Brave New World. As I was heading down here, it started raining and the wind started picking up. And as you guys know, one of my most hated weather elements is hard wind because freaking ears start hurting. So, yeah, about to go in, watch the movie, probably get like some chili cheese nachos or something like that. And then, you know, when I get done watching the movie, come out, do my quick out of the theater movie reaction. That's what I usually do. Well, what are they called now? Quick out of the theater movie reviews? Whatever the quick out of theater X insert thing is nowadays. So, yeah, it is raining pretty hard. Holy crap. Maybe I might find my wife coming back up, going back home. So yeah, see you guys in the next part. I just got out of my movie theater watching Captain America Brave New World. I have no idea what the hell I just saw. I mean, it was truly a movie of all time. Directors directed, actors acted, the plot moved forward, and there was some action here and there. I just don't really think Red Hulk needed to really be in this. He's really not in the movie that much at all. He's only in the movie for like a good maybe 3 minutes, honestly, in the third act. It really does feel like the movie was reshot and done multiple times, given how the plot is actually structured. It's pretty much all I can say right now. There was some heart there. There was something there with the movie. It just kind of feels like it was very jumbled and convoluted. It's really just the best way I can really put it. There was one plot going one way, another plot going another way. They kind of meet up a little bit, but they do actually do something with an event that happened in another MCU movie that a lot of people were saying, are they ever going to get to that? So if you know what I'm talking about, there's an MCU movie where something comes out of the literal earth that we've not actually heard anything about for a while, and this movie kind of tackles on that. There is some decent things here, but yeah, that's my quick out of the theater movie review for Captain America Brave New World. Yeah, truly a movie of all time. Good God. Can't wait to do an open spoiler discussion on this movie this Saturday on the MSK show, and I'll be doing a spoiler-free movie review in the next part of the vlog. See you guys then. So I just got back from my movie theater after watching Captain America Brave New World. And now for the final part of the vlog, to end the vlog, I will be giving you guys my Captain America Brave New World spoiler-free movie review. So if you guys are new to watching episodes of Full Day of Going to the Movie Theater, I always do a spoiler-free movie review on the movie that I just finished watching at my movie theater. And at the time of me recording this episode of Full Day of Going to the Movie Theater, on Saturday, I will be doing an episode of the MSK show with Syfax and potentially Labs Comic Fan if he does manage to join. We are going to be doing a Captain America Brave New World open spoiler discussion. But usually when you are doing an open spoiler discussion on a new movie that you and some other friends of yours watched and you want to talk about it on a podcast episode, there is usually some anticipation with that because you're trying to hold in, not spoiling the movie for anyone, and that's the reason why they're spoiler-free movie reviews. This is potentially one of the only movies that I've seen within the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years where there's really nothing to spoil about this movie. But obviously, I'm still going to be doing an open spoiler discussion for Captain America Brave New World. And it's not even hard to navigate a spoiler-free movie review on this movie like it would be for other big blockbuster tentpoles that have came out in the in recent years, because there's really nothing here. And the best way of describing this movie is kind of describing it like the M. Night Shyamalan movie that came out in 2024, the movie Trap, which I did do an episode of Full Day of Going to the Movie Theater on because I generally liked the trailers and they were really intriguing. Captain America Brave New World did the exact same thing that the M. Night Shyamalan movie Trap did, where basically everything that you would see in the movie is actually in the trailers. Captain America Brave New World actually did that. The trailers, if you watch the trailers, you essentially saw the entire movie. There really isn't anything to spoil here that you would go oh my God, dude, why did you spoil that? Because you already saw everything. Now, do you know how most people go, well, this is a Captain America movie without Captain America, talking about Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson? Well, it's not even that in the movie because you already go in knowing Steve Rogers not here, who was portrayed by Chris Evans. This is a Captain America movie not essentially even with Captain America villains, actually. So you guys know that Red Hulk's in the villain, obviously, because he's in the trailers. He is a villain toward the very end of the movie. He honestly only has maybe 3 minutes of screen time, And you can kind of tell that from the trailers as well, that was the big reveal that they were leading to. But he's not in the movie a lot anyway. He's very, very teased. and it's really like, okay, if you already saw the trailers, you know he's coming anyway. I don't know why it was that hard of a tease. Like, they were trying to play it up as if like it was this big interesting thing. It's like, okay, we know he's going to end up being Red Hulk, right? But there is another Rogues Gallery villain from a Avenger member that is also the main villain of this movie. And I'll let you guys guess that Avenger character's villain that is also in this movie, and he is the main villain. And it's one of those things where it's not even a Captain America movie in the sense of like, well, it's Captain America because Steve Rogers not here. It doesn't even use like conventional Captain America villains here, obviously, you know, because the main villain of the movie is from a Avengers heroes Rogues Gallery, like I just mentioned. And it was just like, okay, because they know that if they use other Captain America villains for this movie, they obviously wouldn't work, but at least it would still feel like, okay, they're trying to utilize Captain America villains, even though Sam Wilson is not Captain America. But they don't even do that. They use another character's villain to be the villain of this movie. And it's like, well, so how would I say this without giving it away? It essentially feels like a Hulk movie, but Captain America is just in it. And I don't want to ever say these things in reviews because I don't like talking about this stuff. But you guys know like who I voted for. You know, I voted for Donald Trump because, you know, MAGA for life, bitch. It really did feel like they thought Kamala Harris would have won the election when watching this movie, because they do try to portray Harrison Ford like Trump for some reason. And throughout the movie, Harrison Ford's character, Thaddeus Ross, just constantly is talking about unity in the most cringiest, bland way possible. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, once he already said it once, I'm like, okay, I understand it. But then he started talking about it like forever. And it's like, oh my God, blow my fucking brains out, right? Now, outside of that, outside of the cringy dialogue this movie can have at pretty much the entirety of it, I did enjoy Harrison Ford's performance as Thaddeus Ross. I felt like William Hurt was really, really good, but I feel like the recast was perfectly fine. They honestly layered his character pretty good. And it honestly felt like Anthony Mackie's character got basically destroyed by Harrison Ford's character, honestly. I feel like Harrison Ford's acting was a lot more believable. It was a lot more dynamic, a lot more layered. I just liked Harrison Ford's performance in this movie more than Anthony Mackie's. And Harrison Ford's like, what, 82 years old? There should be no way that Anthony Mackie should be getting showed up by Harrison Ford. Is there moments where Anthony Mackie shines? Yeah, there's some moments there where he shines. But how would I say this? He still at this point in his MCU career, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean these days, is still not a real leading guy, you know? Like, he just isn't Captain America. And honestly, if he was just Falcon, it would be way better, you know? Then, because he's Captain America, they have this new Falcon guy whom you saw in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and he's just bland as fuck. Like, he's trying to be like, oh, I'm the cool, funny guy, and it's just not coming off good at all. He did like one decent joke, but I just wasn't a fan of the other Falcon that they promoted to be Falcon, because obviously Sam Wilson is Captain America now. Then there's this other character who is also pretty much just completely useless throughout the movie. She's the president's secretary, security detail, not the black lady, because she was also useless herself, and her acting was bad. They try to portray this character as some sort of like widow, you know, so like essentially what they did in the Black Widow movie, where, you know, there were these like widows that exist. Well, she's one of them, and it's like, well, why the fuck does that matter? Because none of that mattered anyway, and then us knowing that doesn't matter. And she's like taking down 300-pound dudes. It's like, what in the fucking world? That probably is a spoiler or a minor one, but it doesn't matter because it has no bearing on the actual movie anyway, right? Like I said before, there's really nothing to spoil here anyway. Isaiah Bradley's character is fine. He's okay. I was like, okay, I already kind of saw this guy in The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Him here more is like, okay, there's another dynamic here with Sam. I honestly felt like they should have just continued the relationship with Sam and Bucky in this movie, rather than trying to obviously not use Bucky in this movie. There are a few surprises in the movie that I won't spoil, but if we're being honest here, they're basically akin to like if Deadpool and Wolverine's cameos were absolutely so beyond just noticeable, it would be that. Like, I know in Deadpool and Wolverine's movie, the cameos that happened were, jaw-dropping, they were eye-popping, you were like, oh my god, wow. Where in this movie, they're all pretty much telegraphed, if you can kind of tell what I'm saying here. Like, Harrison Ford's character, Thaddeus Ross, gets an interaction he's been asking for the entire movie, and then an interaction you kind of already should have been having in the movie with Sam happens later on in the movie. So the first act is not bad. The first act kind of is okay, right? But it's where it gets into like the second and the third act where things kind of just become not just like silly, because superhero movies are going to be silly. That just is what it is, right? But it gets to a point where like the action is so beyond ugly to look at. Like, some of the action is good. I liked the action in the first act of the movie. Thought that was actually not that bad. But you can tell it's a lot of green screen there. Whereas like the action later on in the latter half of the movie feels so choppy. It's super edited. The camera angles flip in weird directions for no reason whatsoever. There's some close-up face shots with some characters that is just beyond not needed at all. Just dumb shit just because we're just doing dumb shit. That's why this movie essentially, is a mixed bag, I'll say. Are there things I liked? Yeah, there's some cool character interactions here. But outside of that, there's not even really cool music. Like the music's pretty just bland, honestly. The pacing itself feels uneven, because this movie is essentially an hour and 58 minutes, and you count in post-credits because people are staying for post-credits. That's a 2-hour movie. I don't know why this movie's 2 hours. It didn't need to be 2 hours. You could have just wrapped this shit up literally at the end of the second act, but they had to force the Red Hulk character to exist at that point of the movie, Also, Sam Wilson's fight with Red Hulk was just certainly one of the fights of all time. Truly just a fight. That's why I even said it on Twitter. This movie is basically one of the superhero movies of all time. Actors acted, directors directed, the plot moved. That's it. And that's the thing. There's nothing really new here, because this movie is trying to be Winter Soldier, Civil War, mixed in one movie, and that doesn't work, right? And that's its problem. It's trying to be this like political thriller, but the politics are just so bland. The politics aren't even just bland, I'll say. They're just not interesting. They're not battling any politics that's really interesting. They're battling basically, how would I say this? Brink of war and unity. That's it. That's really all it is, right? Now, I will say this. This movie actually had one of the more better MCU villains, actually, which was surprising because the MCU is typically not known for decent villains at all. It's actually been a big problem with their franchise pretty much forever, honestly. Just the villains are usually just not that good. I didn't mind the villain in this movie, though. I felt like the purpose was there. I felt like the dialogue with the character was fine. Not a bad villain. Like, he'd be more like a fucking... He'd be one of the more better villains in the MCU, honestly. I can't spoil that because that would be somewhat spoiler. That would actually give away, like, a subplot of the movie, which is the problem. So the movie feels very disjointed. Like, we're going for this espionage thriller, then we're going for this, like, stop big thing moment happening. Then we have another stop big thing moment happening at the end of the movie. Then it's kind of just over, and you're just sitting there like, did I really have to watch this? Now, I will always say this. You can go and watch whatever fucking movie you want to watch. That's just your own right to do. But if you chose to skip out on this movie, you're not really missing anything. Like, there's nothing really here that you'll miss. You could literally wait to watch this movie when it comes out on Disney Plus within about a month. And don't move. Big blockbusters literally come out on streaming services from their respective studios literally within like 3 weeks to a month. So like literally, if you chose to wait to watch this, I promise you, you've missed nothing, obviously. Yeah, you can tell the movie was reshot. You can tell they were trying to go in a different direction with the first half versus where the second half just kind of goes for it. You know, I literally was like, why is this one lady character here? What the fuck does she offer? She offers nothing. Oh, there's that one character, Giancarlo Esposito. Don't know why he's here. Like, he's essentially trying to be the Winter Soldier from Winter Soldier, except just worse. Except he just... that's why this movie is going to be really weirdly talked about, because there's you can tell there was potentially a good movie in here, but then it just got jumbled into a mess of like, hey, let's pull this character up and let's use this character. Let's use this dynamic. This dynamic doesn't really work here. Some stuff like that, right? And I really just don't get at this point why Sam Wilson is still Captain America, because it's not like he can't even lead. He just feels very bland as Captain America. Like, Steve was layered. Tony was layered. Thor, despite all his ups and downs, is a layered character to a certain extent. Harrison Ford's character, Thaddeus Ross, layered in the movie. The Falcon guy that they have, kind of just bland. Captain America, Sam Wilson's Captain America, kind of just bland. Anthony Mackie's performance, it's just kind of good in certain areas, but bland in others, honestly. So... yeah, that is essentially pretty much it for my Captain America Brave New World spoiler-free movie review. You know, there's really not much here. The action, while good in certain areas, is very dodgy in other areas. There's a lot of cuts here in this movie. You can tell when you're watching it, there's a cut, all that stuff, right? So, yeah, can't wait to do an open spoiler discussion for this movie on Saturday on the MSK show. You guys should always check that out anyway. It's just, what is this movie? This is certainly a MCU movie of all time. Truly MCU at its finest. Because I really don't know why this movie exists. I mean, to be fair, you could argue that kind of like any movie. But I will say this. It's certainly going to be a Captain America movie. People are going to be like, yeah, this is the worst one. By far and away. Like, First Avengers better, Winter Soldier's better, and Civil War's better. You know? But I'm pretty sure you knew that going in. But at this point, it's just, why? I don't know. You know, so much decent stuff here, but just all felt very disjointed and lackluster, in my opinion. And pretty anticlimactic, in my opinion, as well. And it's not that it's bad on the politics side as far as like it's preaching. It's more like politics that you knew shifted when Trump became president. So... that's what I feel currently right now. But yes, so thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Deuces. Peace.